ADA over those games as well. So really important to deny that for Care. But Care looked amazing on that Lissandra in game number 1. Still 100% win rate of the 2 games he's played on that. Feels fantastic for Care. And now Clid could have his pick of the litter in the jungle, or we talked about it in the first draft, the Sivir available, Yuumi still available too.
Yeah, and it makes me wonder what OMG going to take in this. We've seen a lot of Sivir and Zeri traded off against each other, but obviously Zeri banned away, don't have that option. It does mean that Wukong is something that we can see Ahri take, and it gives them, once again, a pretty strong jungler who also, I feel like one of the powers of Wukong is he's so strong in the team fights as well. So if he does get a lead, maybe able to offer more than the Trundle. But I think AD carry pick has to come through here for OMG. The Aphelios is something Abel has really brought out. Everyone knows him for a Samira, but I think into a Lissandra, I probably wouldn't want to be playing Samira with how easily she can just stop you in your tracks.
Yeah, it's going to be the Aphelios here for Abel, which, you know, it's going to just be trying to play defensive in the bottom side, but honestly, you're never going to get priority in that bottom side, and it's going to be tough to pressure a Yuumi. So, you know, that weakness of the Yuumi in the bottom side, not really going to be exploited too hard by OMG here. Renata available for Cold if they want to go for the Aphelios Renata lane, but Alistair, the focus taken off the board here by FPX.
Yeah, trying to shut down one of those engaged champions that can really punish Sivir. Like Nautilus, she's fine into, you can spell shield the hook, but with the Alistair, you can't actually spell shield the combo. We could see Renata or even Lulu banned away here if OMG want to match with scaling in the bot lane. But for now, OMG banned away that Vi. We obviously saw that Lissandra Vi being so potent at shutting down threats when it came to team fights, so wanted to deny that away. One question is, will we see the Gnar ban? Because that has been left available. We also saw the Gwen ban in the second rotation. Even less top laners banned away in this game than we saw in that previous one. And despite the fact I said, right, the Nautilus hook can be spell shielded by the Sivir, still opting to take away this. And I think FPX showing they feel confident that no matter what OMG brings in the bot lane, they will outscale it. So they're kind of just trying to shut down any aggressive options for OMG.
Yeah, and the Nautilus ultimately, even if you can spell shield one of his CCs, like he has so many, if he flashes forward as well, that he can still be a nightmare to deal with. So FPX is not wanting to have to manage that one, and it's just the jungle takeaways from Aki here when he's already got his Wukong. Now to FPX, they want to leave Summit's pick until last. They want the counter pick for the top lane, despite the fact Gnar is available. We'll be looking towards Clid, I assume, in that jungle.
Well, interesting enough, going for the Jarvan here, which is something we haven't seen a ton of, but did get some recent buffs, right, to his passive, the cooldown skills down late in the game. But we haven't seen him up, but I mean, you're into an Aphelios who is a mobile. You have a Yuumi in the support role, so if you lock people into that Cataclysm, so easy for the Yuumi just to connect on the top, so easy for the Sivir to bounce those ricochets. It's going to be interesting to see what OMG bring in return. Thresh isn't something really you see at the moment, but obviously is very good at mitigating Jarvan, but instead just going straight for that Amumu, going for the aggression.
Amumu down in the bottom side. I mean, we saw FPX banning 2 hard engaged champions, and Cold is like, you know what? There's a third one available. I will say the Amumu quite squishy. If you do get locked up by the Lissandra, by the Jarvan, Lwx is going to be able to dispatch you fairly easily. Up to the top side now. Is Shanji considering a blind Renekton? We're going old school here.
Yeah, so feels like OMG once again leaning into that early pressure. We did see Gnar recently on 12-14. He had his base health nerfed. It meant those matchups where he can get up in his face, he is a bit more vulnerable. But I have no doubt Summit feels confident to take this matchup. He's going to go for it. And, you know, we said in that first game, OMG needed to find the momentum. That is true once again here. You were into Sivir, Yuumi, Gnar, Jarvan, these super strong combos when it comes to team fights. FPX is completely outmatched in the 5v5, I've got to feel. Like, if OMG are going to win, it needs to be in the mid game. It needs to be because Lwx missed positions. But they need to get the ball rolling early. And I have to say, they did a fantastic job of it in game 1. But we'll have to see if they can recreate those circumstances.
We'll have to see if they can. I will say, FPX drafting up a dream across the course of today so far. Shanji now playing his 14th unique champion of the split. This will be his first game of Renekton, and I'm surprised to see him bringing it out blind. Things like Sejuani would have still been available if you wanted to go for that, but wanting a bit more aggression here in the form of that Renekton. A lot of work cut out here, but OMG, they need to prove themselves. They've had such a good split. They were denied playoffs by just a single place last split. It was FPX that were in 10th above them in the standings as well. And now OMG, they make it to playoffs once again. They're in the same place that they were in summer 2021. Last time around, they couldn't get a win against WE. Now they need to prove that they can get a win in playoffs this time around. They need to get their first playoffs win in 5 years up against FPX.
Yeah, and I mean, they need to be coming in with confidence once again if they're going to do it in this game. We saw them have that early momentum, and I feel like instead of what some teams can do in the situation is going, okay, that didn't work, let's change the pace, they've gone, no. This is what we need to do to win. We changed up the recipe a little bit. We give maybe a bit more opportunity to play through that top lane with that CC lockdown from the Renekton. And Aki, you need to once again have an absolute banger start to this game if you're going to find this, because FPX, they have this Sivir Yuumi so potent. I feel like for Lwx and AD carry who really flourishes when it comes to those team fights.
Yes, indeed. We're on Summoner's Rift, the Hawks, for game number 2 here between OMG and FPX. And I'm curious, because Summit has his signature Gnar once more. The picks and bans changed for OMG to deny Lwx. But somehow Lwx is on a Sivir and he's got a pet Yuumi. And OMG are really going to have to do something magical to find a big win in that bottom side. We're looking at Clid in the early game. We're looking at Clid denying Aki the pressure that he'll want to find.
And I do want to take a moment to talk a bit about the Amumu and why it's been picked here. And there's a couple of reasons. First and foremost is that with a pick like Nautilus, which obviously was banned, but if you use the Q on a Sivir and she spell shields, one of the things with Nautilus Q is you drag yourself in, but you also drag them closer. If it's spell shielded, you don't drag them closer, so you can't follow up. Whereas with the Amumu, even if it's spell shielded, you still close the gap, right? It allows you to follow up with the ultimate, and you have 2 charges. So spell shield 1, the other can just follow. Lwx knowing there's a lot of CC throughout the enemy team and has to take this cleanse, but it means if he missteps in lane, Cold is almost always going to have an opportunity to look for that all-in, look for that window to punish.
And crucially as well, has Glacial Augment, right? So the big slow field off of the Q as well, which you definitely can't spell shield. So Cold may look for all-in opportunities in that bottom side, but Lwx and Hunk with the Sivir will have priority at least in the early stages. As Creme looks to go aggressive here, but Claw of Doom out from Care. Aggressive trades. Care seems to be getting the best of them.
Yeah, a lot of back and forth between these two. And you got to remember, since it changes in 12-14, potions are a lot less sustained. So these trades are more punishing if you start to make mistakes. Ooh, Shanji. Not only clearing the way, but also going aggressive. And level 2, you don't have too much stun. No, it's level 3, really. Once you have your full combo, once you have that stun, so it does have to be a little bit cautious if he oversteps.
Gable on Cold permanently threatening the potential of an all-in, but not going to go for it for the time being as Clid moves up to the top side here. Interesting pathing. Decides to not go for the red, decides to not even walk past the red, just in case there's some vision there. Goes straight over towards his Krugs. As both junglers on the top side of the map right now, but Aki spotted on the ward. He'll at least be able to clear that. But Clid now playing with full information of where Aki is at. But Aki should be able to grab the Scuttle Crab regardless.
Yeah, could make his way down towards the bot side. See if he can grab that one as well. But obviously doesn't have full information on Clid, and it looks like he's going for this gank. They're going to run into each other.
They certainly are. Aki with double buffs here. Clid not. So now Aki has that information that the red buff has not been cleared by Clid. So should be able to move either to the wolves, to the bottom side of the map, wherever he fancies using that information. Care needs to live up to his name here. He knows that Aki is in the area. Oh, Creme. Slightly wide on the charm there, trying to predict the dodge. A bit of an all-in on the bottom side as Cold finds the hook onto Lwx, but just decides to back away. No, goes back in. Big damage on Lwx. He cleanses the stun. Able moving forward, though. Lwx, 1 HP. And OMG, they find the 2v2 they've been looking for. Another stun comes on in. Hung, not long for this world. One more auto. A double for Able.
And you see prime example of what the Amumu can do. Spell shield comes out. The second bandage toss catches Lwx. And yeah, he cleanses, but the glacial augment slow is still there. able to not only get that one kill, but pick up Hung as well. Fantastic for them in this bot lane 2v2, and definitely the momentum they needed. We do see Clid showing up on the top side, but Shanji does just play it safe, and we'll get a replay. So I think what's great is not only does he get the spell shield, but notice, firstly, he lets FPX push up again, and Lwx makes a mistake from going forwards. This also means that first bandage toss, the cooldown is already starting to tick down. They walk up. Abel has the slowed autos from the Gravitum. No way Lwx escapes. Doesn't even get away far enough away to flash. But now, because Cold waited a bit, he has that second bandage toss with the slows and the Infernum damage, able to find both kills, a massive amount of gold. And you can see it reflected in the items.
And I like Abel holding the Gravitum as long as he did there as well, making sure that you can proc the Gravitum while the auto is in the air to guarantee extra damage on the auto attack. So just in case Lwx does get some kind of flash off, that last auto will do enough damage to finish the job. So really nice stuff from OMG's bottom lane. And this is what we needed for OMG, is early aggression and side lane dominance. Well, they've got it in the bottom side with a double kill, and up in the top lane as well. Bit of CS lead here for Shanji, who, despite the pressure from Clid, is still managing to find an advantage.
And now it's so scary. I mean, we saw them posturing before, but no cleanse for Lwx, no vision in the river. Look at the control ward there as well. This makes this so dangerous. So Clid is going to hover around here and try and play defense, but there is a ward in that brush. If he steps up any further, there we go, he will be spotted. And now OMG, I think they have more confidence because they know that Clid is there and they can look for a play. He's trying to push it in. Oh, this is so bad.
They're going in. Lwx is the target, and I don't think he's getting away with this one. Flash, Ahri hit the wrong target, but Abel goes in. Lwx lives on.
Matt, that was so close. I think the spell shield and the heal just saving him from the damage there. Down to the wire, but I mean, FPX have to be happy with that one. Trading up in Summoner, still very messy, but they survive the play. They survive the engage from OMG.
Massive moment there. Abel might have gone too far forward here. Takes a turret shot as well. Lwx, can he actually follow this one up? One more boomerang blade will do the job. The slow goes wide. Abel goes wide on the boomerang as well. And Lwx goes down. A huge fumble from FPX. And the bottom lane is falling apart.
I mean, Abel was just going for the plate. It was an overstep. Take the plate. Oh, I took a tower hit. But Lwx gets overconfident. And something we've touted as FPX's big strength, their bot lane's willingness to challenge in the 2v2 is currently their downfall. They keep overstepping. And this time we'll get the first play. So great bandage toss. Lwx doesn't even expect it. Or he would have spell shield. But here, Ahri, I think the spell shield was for the damage from Abel, but they just didn't manage to finish him off there. The heal coming through. Bit of a flub from OMG, but then this follow-up play. Lwx just sees, I mean, Abel gets a plate, and he's like, oh, look how low he is. I can go for him. But just completely oversteps. And here's the thing. You're playing a scaling lane. Going for this window, just so risky.
Really, really great juke from Abel there as well. Just as soon as he's out of vision, goes all the way to the right, dodges all of the damage, and then the rest is history. And now, Abel on Aphelios 3-0-1. He's in a phenomenal position to take over the game. And Ahri grabbing a few kills as well. Clid, though, he ain't done focusing this bottom side.
Yeah, Creme's making his way down, but he's just cautious about being trapped being Sephiroth. But ultimately, FPX don't commit. So a lot of effort directed down towards the bot lane. Nothing comes from it. And they can be super happy with that one. The fact that OMG, you know, all this attention is being put towards bot lane by Clid, by Care, and nothing comes from it.
Yeah, and I was a little nervous for Summit there as well. But more importantly, OMG, once again, 2,000 gold lead for themselves. But this, no. I mean, I don't think that matters that much. It's just the immediate thumbs up there from Shanji. You love to see it. Herald started off by OMG. A lovely start to game number 2. And it's good to see because Clid did such a good job of stopping these early plays last time around. But when the bottom lane is just winning pretty much 2v2, it's difficult for Clid to influence that.
Yeah, and I think something I was saying coming out of the draft was the fact that FPX in the late stage of the game, the Sivir Yuumi is going to be so hard to deal with, such a potent threat. But when they're behind, it's kind of hard to play Sivir from team fights from behind because the whole point is, like, you are short range. You kind of do enough DPS that you just shred everyone in front of you. But if you're behind and you're dealing with things like the Wukong, the Renekton, the Aphelios, the Amumu, it's very hard to position in fights if you have to stay there and auto even more because you're doing less damage.
Yeah, it's a tough one. The close range AD carries like Sivir can really struggle if you can't get those autos off.
Yeah, this
Bit
is
of a group up on the bottom side here for Drake.
This is an Umbral Glaive just picked up by Clid, by the way, on the Jarvan. So gonna have a lot of vision control. But like I mean, I'm sure you've seen like the lethality Jarvan. One of the things that got buffed him in recently was his Q bonus AD ratio. It's like 140%. I'm not sure how I feel about you committing to like a one-shot lethality Jarvan, but I respect it.
Look, honestly, I'm here for it, especially after the early game. Your initial teamfight plan is kind of falling apart a little bit. Why not just one-shot Abel? They can't teamfight if they don't have an AD carry, I guess. So, look, Clid wanted to be a bit aggressive, and I respect it. That's what I wanted out of this series. I wanted an absolute barn burner. Game number 1, a little slow. Game number 2, FPX trying to be proactive. Care and Clid moving up. They want to dive Shanji.
Oh, and this is going to be difficult if they get the CC down for him to survive, but he starts to back away. And Creme's already moving over. Will use the Scrying Orb to spot them out. So now I think the jig is up. The dive isn't going to happen. And this is the second time in a row. FPX had that big lean bot lane, nothing. Now a big lean top, nothing. And this, even Wiz, opens up a window for a dive. Lwx has no flash, but does have that cleanse.
Scary moment for Lwx. Here we go. Gravitum in. There's the curse, the sad mummy. He barely exists. Cold will go down.
Oh,
no, he won't. No, he will not. Has the stopwatch. And with the red and white weapons, you know that tower's falling.
And the fantastic use of the Herald as well, because it means even with the minions cleared away, the Herald was there to tank the shots. Cold played it perfectly. The spell shield comes through. The cleanse does as well. But the ultimate still connects onto Lwx. 2 kills, the 2-for-1 you get from a Yuumi, 2 charges, and the whole first tower. Look at that goal lead, 5,000 ahead. And look, FPX managed to bring it back from a deficit in game 1. This feels a lot more significant.
It certainly does. The second of the look is Cold just goes straight in. You know, the spell shield, like you said, can only do so much and even waits for the cleanse. So nicely played by Cold.
And then the stopwatch perfectly timed. You saw that tower hit about to connect, able to save himself, and then the Herald tanks it up. So just flawless execution. And, you know, I even feel like if they'd executed a bit worse, they probably still would have got the kills. Maybe Cold would have died. But the fact they give FPX nothing really hits it home and puts them in a bad position. And now they already have that first dragon. That was one of the things FPX had going for them in that game 1, was the fact that they got the first 2 dragons and started to be able to contest on that third one and get themselves a lead. But now FPX don't really have anything going for them, and OMG are continuing to set the pace.
Yeah, Summit really wants these Krugs, but Cold is trying to deny him. Abel, though, look at the tower plates that this Aphelios is getting. My God, we've all seen what a Fed Aphelios can do, but I can't remember the last time I saw of an Aphelios this Fed. He has 2 crit capes, just because I guess that was the amount of gold he had at the time. But the Gale Force double crit cape here, he's going to hit like a truck off of the Calibrum.
Oh, man, for sure. And I feel like he's just going to keep scaling to be a monster. And how is Sivir ever going to step up to him? How is this Jarvan, who's gone
lethality,
ever going to survive his damage? And look, FPX are trying to do something in return, but now...
Oh my God, 2v1 Shanji! 2v1, the Crocodilio is in town, and FPX falling apart. Lwx forced to flash here.
But you have no tower.
Slice and dice will be up in a second. Okay, Lwx walks away with his life. You can see Care was roaming over, but my God. FPX, they said they're coming in. They're not going to lose a game in playoffs. They might be wrong on that one.
Yeah, I mean, it is looking rough so far. Flash bin from Care there as well. They are just losing every single spot on the map, and Hung made a mistake, stepped outside for a split second, and Shanji pounced on it. I'm going to be real. I expected Shanji to bring out some spicy picks. I didn't think it'd be the Crocodile, but he is delivering so far with that opportunity, because those are the scenarios we expect. OMG leaning topside. Shanji just has to play defensive, but we get the pro view and him finding this window so quickly.
I mean, just goes in, sees that Hung is not on the shoulder, and I mean, he only gets 176 gold for the kill. That says everything that you need to know about how this bottom lane has gone if you are just tuning in. FPX pretty much dominated game number 1 once it got to the mid game. They were a little bit behind in the early game, but Clid doing a great job to deny plays from OMG, and then in the mid game, FPX just took over. The team fighting was immaculate. Now game number 2. OMG straight off of the bat, winning the 2v2. Aki doing a great job to influence that bottom lane as well. And now it feels like FPX are in dire straits. Just 14 minutes in, they are 6,000 gold down. And this Aphelios from Abel, you see him pop up on your screen, is just something beautiful to watch.
I mean, he is just going to decimate anyone who comes near him. And I mean, I feel like at this point, Summit's farmed decently well. He's nearly got his first item, but this unbelievable Jarvan isn't going to be able to withstand many autos from Abel. That's all I'm saying. I don't think he's going to be one-shotting anyone either. Second Dragon won't even be contested. I think FPX are in full damage control mode now. It is a 400 CS win con Sivir game where you just hope you stall out the game long enough that you get to the point. And something I will say is it is pretty hard to die with FPX. When you have like Lissandra, Jarvan, Gnar, those are champions that make it more difficult to go for tower dives. And you have a ton of wave clear on that Sivir. So OMG, they've done fantastically. They are so far ahead, but I don't want to see them slow up at any point in this game. They need to keep finding plays, keep finding momentum, and maybe looking for something here on the Lwx if he does overstep.
Abel moving forwards here, trying to bait them in as here comes Hung, here comes Clid. Can they get onto Abel? I don't think they want to get onto Abel here. Creme forward misses the charm though. Can't quite find it. I mean, Creme has not done so hot on the charms. It has to be said in this Ahri. Game number 1 and 2. Felt like he's leaving something to be desired.
Yeah, hasn't been the cleanest connection. Obviously didn't land there, but still, Clid is so squishy. He gets absolutely decimated, but does survive. But now OMG, once again, just taking every objective. All 4 neutrals picked up by then. I think what they're doing a fantastic job of is Creme will push. Oh,
Aki goes in Lwx. Not quite knocked up. The spell shield is good, but there we go. Abel. Just Gale Fuzz in a one-shots him, basically. My God, this is a terrifying Aphelios. And I want to quickly mention, Abel and Cold, by the way, 2 of the longest standing players in the LPL. Both have played for 5 years. Abel is only 22. This guy was scouted at 17, and he's looking amazing this split.
Joe, you make me feel old, man, when you say that. I feel ancient, but we do see them just completely delivering this game, and Ahri doing a good job of pushing the pace forward. Something to note is that FPX went for play on the bot side. You'll notice Creme's flash is unavailable. Did have to flash together that one, but does survive and get away. And this is the thing, is that FPX go for this bot side play. They try to kill Creme, they only get his flash. They are only now, I think, taking the tower in the bot lane. They lose mid-tier 1, they lose their Sivir, they lose top tier 2. So sure, FPX do answer back, and this is kind of one of the struggles that FPX have had when they're at a deficit, is that a lot of the times they trade like they did there, but they trade down quite significantly.
Hang on, Summit's in trouble here. This is going to be a kill for Creme, isn't it? Clid's moving over though. Creme, you've got to be real careful, but he walks too close to the wall, knocked up, and will be finished off here. One more auto will do the trick. Okay, yeah, they do finally get it. My goodness. Big pickup here for FPX. That should stem the bleeding just a little bit here. I want to quickly bring your attention to something though, Aux.
Is it Abel's inventory?
Yeah. I as soon as I saw the double crit cape, I had a sneaking suspicion something like this might happen. Infinity Edge second and activated with the crit capes.
Yeah, oh, Abel might be pressured now.
Ooh, good flash here. Aki trying to move over. A TP comes in. Chem might just die. He goes in to make the play. 1 HP now as the rest of OMG have to clean things up. This is massive for FPX. I didn't quite see who got the kill, but that's a big old shutdown.
Yeah, a massive amount of gold given over. So as much as OMG, we're doing pretty fantastic. Couple of mistakes. Mistake from Creme, mistake from Abel, and all summoners burn from the Aphelios as well. And when you look at the team composition of FPX, we said in the team fights, a lot of strength. If you have no summoners on this Aphelios, you are going to struggle. So we'll see the replay and who got the gold. And ultimately, he does everything he can. He flashes the initial route. He cleanses only when the stun from the ultimate comes out. The damage is there. And I think it was Care who got the gold, I believe. Not entirely certain. But either way, big shutdown achieved. And, you know, the gold gap is still substantial. 5,500. Yeah. But that's a lot. That's smaller than it was before. And they've also... we also are getting later in the game. So if they keep finding these plays in return, it is giving me some hope for FPX.
Clid has gone for the Umbral Glaive, but now he's gone Chem Tank. This is a hybrid Jarvan build where he goes for the vision control of the Umbral Glaive, but then still building tank, still wants to exist during the rest of the game. That tower, basically paper in the face of Abel at this point. Yes, he got picked off, but he is still terrifying at this point in the game. You can see just the pressure across the map here. OMG, no intention of slowing down, and that's exactly how you said they need to play.
Yeah, and I think actually it might have been Lwx who got the gold there, because he's got the kill and he's just picked up a lot. So wow, that's pretty fantastic. I'm gonna be honest, that is exactly who you want getting it. And as much as OMG are ahead, A lot given over now. Shanji. Oh my, look at this flank. This croc is big.
Yeah, Dominus already used Care, and Lwx trying to escape. Creme with the Spirit Rush needs to find the charm. This is Creme's moment here. Lwx just being bullied, but the final chapter denies any kind of engage, and OMG, what looked like a great flank, kind of falls apart just 12 seconds before Drake.
Yeah, I mean, it's played perfectly. Shanji tries to flash Q to bait the spell shield. Lwx so patient on it, so he ends up only using it later, and Shanji's then out of range. And now FPX, you know, they are about to have the Mega Gnar. Drake is up. They should feel confident. OMG, they're just going to beeline towards Baron. They know they don't have control of the area thanks to Umbral Glaive sweeping out the vision. So they want to try and start a 5v fight here and now.
Yeah, and crucially, 7,000, 6,000 gold still up in favor of OMG. So even without ultimates, they are scary. Cold needs a big curse of the Sad Mummy. FPX able to deny the Baron. They answer correctly here. Dragon still on the map as Shanji dives over the wall to try and make his way over there. Find some presence for OMG, but I think FPX might be able to just brute force this. However, Clid is actually not at the Dragon Pit. Clid's sticking around near Baron.
Which is the ideal way to do it, because now Clid poses a threat off the smite steal over the wall. Doesn't matter that he's leveled down anymore since it's just 900 damage flat for a large part of this year. So OMG, you're risking a flip here, and you're losing the dragon regardless.
They might actually just flip it. It's on 3k. They're holding it for now. Shanji fighting in the side. Clid over the wall here, but Cold can't land the bandage toss. Health bars are low. In goes Clid! And saves the day for FPX. Your gold lead be damned.
Man, 7,000 lead at 14 minutes is now a 4,500 lead at 21. Baron secured by FPX. The 2 deaths, who cares? They even trade one back onto Cold. Fantastic for them in this situation. And I mean, the timing, I think OMG just started to feel desperate. The damage comes over the wall with the Boomerang Blade from the Sivir, and then here, the combo comes in, and they just try to contest it. The secure is there, an objective bounty as well. Remember, the biggest objective bounties are on Baron. So a ton of gold injected into FPX. And now Abel should probably be close to finishing his 3rd item, but so is Lwx, right?
Yeah. Here's the thing, right? Lwx getting a bunch of gold from the local gold of the objective bounty from the Baron. But most importantly, right, you're getting a Baron here when OMG need to end things fast. It's impossible to push into those Baron waves. It's impossible to keep snowballing. The gold difference was 7,000 just a moment ago. Now, they're shrinking, right? 4,000 in favor of OMG. They are still ahead, but it's starting to feel like FPX are on top of things, and I think FPX have changed their tune from the regular split. Once again, we see that it's the mid-game. It's these team fights. It's these clutch moments in decision-making where FPX are coming alive.
And what I think is hilarious is the fact that in spring, we had this thing we talked about called the FPX Baron. And it's because FPX kept having this tendency where they'd start a Baron pretty sporadically, and the enemy jungler would be literally over the wall, and they would just flip it, and it would just go terribly. And it was so frustrating. And I think it's just so amazing that this is something they're using to get back in the game. OMG do the FPX Baron, and FPX answer. And now, as you said, I mean, the Baron was a big win con. The Soul was a big win con. Those have both been delayed. And I feel like OMG is starting to feel a lot more hesitant, a lot more nervous. We see a TP coming in, though. They're trying to make a play.
They certainly are. FPX collapsed upon here. Big fight. Creme in trouble. They're already down to half, but he escapes on the backside. Shanji goes in. Lwx trying to survive, but you can't spell shield Renekton. Creme chasing down Care on the bottom side as Hung escapes onto the shoulder of Summit, but he'll only be able to survive for a moment here. Care trying to sneak away on the bottom side. In the meantime, Summit has somehow found a kill, but Abel has the damage to chase Summit out of the play.
I mean, this doesn't even end up being that favorable for OMG. They still get more kills. They still shut down the Baron. They still get this mid 2-2 fantastic. But considering how badly they look to start off, FPX managed to answer back. Care gets away. Summit gets an extra kill on the back end. And it all just gets very messy. We'll get the replay. So initially, Creme was very aggressive, but dips out again. Gets the charm onto Clid. And it starts to look really favorable. Lwx has to bin both summoners immediately. Shanji up in the face of Lwx and just deletes him. But then in the extended play, they don't get the Lissandra. And I want to see what happened with Summit here, because Aki, yeah, just got ran down. Just why go that direction? Why bin your W?
Yeah, clearly just not expecting the damage that Summit had to bring to the table, but we keep on talking about Summit's Gnar. We've been talking about Summit's Gnar since he joined the league just halfway through this split. Care will be able to finish this tier 1 up at the top side here, and FPX, it feels like they are starting to gain some semblance of control. OMG still ultimately winning that fight, still getting a tower in the mid lane, but crucially, Lwx, despite how far behind he's been put all game, now on 3 items on the Sivir. And the redemption story continues here for FPX, right? Summit, you know, going to semi-finals just at the last Worlds, being an LCK for so long, and now having that split in LCS that didn't really work out, finishing in 4th, now moving to the LPL, and it felt like a rough start to this split for FPX, but Summit coming in felt like the difference maker for them. Now in playoffs, leveling up their play once again. For Clid, a similar story. Actually, he's the one, sorry, that was in the semi-finals, I misspoke, at Worlds. And now moving into the LPL to try and change his fortune internationally. FPX have to make a deep run in playoffs for that to happen. But right now, it's looking good. They are still behind, though. 3,000 gold as OMG try and make a run down the mid lane.
Yeah, I mean, it's 2 towers already secured by FPX, so they need to trade up. They're going to be able to get this inhib tower here, but see how cautious they are to even stay any further.
This is actually a good trade for FPX. It looked kind of wonky because the inhib tower goes down for OMG, but actually they don't get the inhib. FPX get 2 towers across the map, and now Drake spawning. Remember, neither team on soul point just yet. OMG got the first 2, but then FPX were able to answer. Summit and Mini Gnar, but he'll very quickly build that bar up.
I think we need to keep an eye on Lwx. If he can position, it's all going to be down to him, but no flash, no cleanse. OMG need to take the Sivir down. He's just too strong right now.
And Lwx is a team fight monster. Care looking for the setup. In goes Clid to start it off, but dashes back out again. Final chapter goes across. Lwx in the middle of everyone, and he's taken down. Aki with a double kill as OMG shred the health bars. Abel still going strong, but there's Summit on the Gnar. Abel surviving, but no, he's still alive. Taken down by Summit in the end. It was so close on a knife's edge as Shanji slowed by the Drake, and Summit comes up huge.
Summit with the massive carry performance. Look at that damage, 6,100, and he ain't done yet.
Over.
He'll take out the jungler. That fight looked doomed for FPX. Lwx goes down. Clid ends up going down. It looked like that was it. That was Dragon secured for OMG. And then Summit with the fantastic Gnar on top of the Frozen Swords. This is great from Clid. Ults in, burns Abel's flash instantly. He's like, nope, I'm out. I've done my job. I've got the summoner. But then Lwx gets deleted here, and I'm thinking, okay, this is OMG, got it. 5 still up against 3, but Summit goes out of vision here, jumps back in, slams into the wall, and the thralls underneath do all the damage as well. What a play.
Yeah, unbelievable. And Shanji desperately trying to save Abel. I thought Abel was going to walk away for a second there, but Summit turns it around. Unofficial quadrant as well as he chases down Aki at the end. Summit, we said he comes in from America here after being in the LCK on Sandbox for such a long time, unable to find the success that he wanted. Moves into the LPL, changes the fortunes for FPX, and now here in playoffs when his team is behind, he closes what was a 7,000 gold lead for OMG into just 800.
Look, Joe, this is the 2022 Spring regular season MVP Summit. From the LCS. He is popping off right now and delivering. And now that goal lead, 7,000 to 14 minutes. 14 minutes after that, the time when the game time's doubled, 700 gold apart. That goal lead has gone. The Dragon Soul win con out the window. It's going to be another 9 minutes before OMG can even threaten that. So I think critical mass has been hit. And notably, Lwx, has a last whisper. He's going to be picking up a low dom soon enough. At that point, Sivir just obliterates everyone. There's no one on OMG who's like a true tank. You don't have like a Sejuani, you don't have an Ornn or something like that. And honestly, even if they did, I don't think it matters at that point. 4-item Sivir just obliterates everything. And with the likes of a Lissandra, a Yuumi, a Jarvan, all that lockdown, it's going to be like being in a blender.
It really is. And OMG, I mean, the early game looked great. They started off so strong. Abel still an absolute monster when you look at his items, right? But at the end of the day, so is Lwx. He's the one that got put back. I mean, look at Lwx's scoreline, right? 1-6 with a 0-5 support. That says everything about how this early game went. But we're past the point of that mattering. Summit pulling out the big plays. This bizarre build from Clid actually working out beautifully for the team here. Honestly, this FPX squad leveling up for playoffs, and I am loving every second of it all.
I mean, they're just doing so well. And we expected a lot of hectic team fights between these two. I felt like something FPX had struggled with was how they approach team fights in the regular season. I thought that OMG would have the edge, but we're not seeing that here. There's still the game to go, right? We're just at an even state now. Yes, Lwx is super strong, but Abel is still very powerful. So it comes down to setup for these objectives. And FPX, they have just started up the Baron with the Umbral Glaive from Clid. They sweep out all the vision, but OMG look like they're going to call them on it. And being stuck in that pit could be such a massive danger.
They need to go quickly, though. It's 3K on the Baron. It's already gone down. FPX Baron is a positive in 2022, that's for sure. Creme in. Shanji trying to get into the fray as well, but they just can't seem to close the gap. Lwx still going strong. Shanji low on HP as Summit tanks everybody up here. Care will fall. 1-for-1 so far, but Summit in the middle of everyone, charmed by Creme, gets the heal from the Zoomies. Lwx chased down, though. In goes Aphelios. Ahri falls. Lwx dodging, taken out. Clid goes back in, and it's able this time around to flip the game. A TP comes out from Summit here, but Hong couldn't get on top. He's still in the base.
Yeah, you can't follow the TP anymore for a while. They nerfed that. Trying to combat things like this, where you could just TP back in with the Yuumi attached, and I think maybe Summit goes in feeling confident, but thinks, nope, I can't follow up this, I can't make the play. This was so messy. And initially, Creme tries to go on Lwx, does get the Everfrost, but the cleanse comes out, and then Ahri goes in. But with the Yuumi on top, with the exhaust, so hard to finish off the Sivir. And look what starts to happen is the messy team fight on this bottom end does go in favor of OMG with Abel doing their DPS. But look at when Ahri tries to dive onto the Sivir, and Lwx just absolutely obliterates him so quickly. And I think OMG are like, okay, we have to kill the Sivir right now. Unfortunately, with the caliber, Abel takes him out, but the damage being fired out by both these AD carries right now, if either of them gets the free hit, I feel like that's just a fight.
Yeah, but I will say you got to see in that replay as well that Lwx on that short-range AD carry, when he gets the damage out, you can see the damage is there. But a lot of that fight, he couldn't do much. Summit could be in trouble here, uses the hot flash available, but does get stunned up. Curse the Sad Mummy, knock up, charm, Everfrost. The man cannot move, and Creme will get the kill.
Throw everything in the kitchen sink at him, and now 20 seconds till Dragon. FPX cannot contest this. And we said the Soul win con's going to be out the window, but I mean, it's starting to come back online. I think FPX have to give this up, and there's nothing else they can really take in return. Maybe pressuring this tier 2 tower in the top lane might be enough, but still a heavy blow. And bear in mind that we just got a massive... I mean, Summit was 7-0 before he went down. That is a big shutdown to hand over.
Big shutdown, and importantly as well, Summit was one of the only 2 players with Baron on FPX. So now it's only Hong on the map that has the Baron available to him. So big turnaround for OMG. And you know what, OMG as well, just they remember that last Dragon fight that we just witnessed. They know what Summit did, so this time around they're like, you know what, let's deal with Summit before we try and go for the Drake.
Yeah, dispatch him first, deal with that problem, and then yep, Drake a lot easier when Summit isn't on the map. And now, you know, we can see the Baron power play in the top right of the screen, plus about 900. Not exactly what you're hoping for. They are still going to use the minions a bit to push in mid, but I think 15 seconds left. They got the tier 2 top. That's about it. They lose out on the Dragon. We are 300 gold apart. I keep bringing this up, but it was just so mind-blowing. A 7,000 gold lead for OMG at 14 minutes, and at 33, we are dead and even, and it still just feels like this could be anyone's game.
And I know we talked about it a lot in game number 1, and then FPX proved it wrong, but in the regular split, they didn't win a single game when they were behind at 15 minutes. This game, they were 7,000 gold behind at about 20 minutes. They were like 4,000 gold behind at 15. Like, unbelievable comeback here for FPX, and a change in tune for them as well. So you can see resets coming out for FPX. And I will say, I respect that they're playing it slow. One player that I really want to highlight, though, is Lwx. Because coming into this series, man, like, first game, 2 bans against him, gets the Zeri, pops off and takes over the game. Second game, 3 bans against him, gets the Sivir instead, then gets the entire team of OMG focusing on shutting him down in the laning phase. And now he's got a bounty over his head. Now he's the teamfight monster, and now he's the man that OMG have to stop. Shanji goes through the Hex Gate. Could be in trouble here, but he's pretty tanky.
Yeah, Clid just goes for a bit of heavy trade, gets a bit of gold from that first strike, but won't really be able to do too much more. What I do love is the vision setup that's coming out from FPX. One of the fantastic things about Yuumi is it's very hard to pick Yuumi because she's attached to, in this situation, a tanky Jarvan who has GA and mobility, but they also have the Umbral Glaive, so these two can work together on a warding mission, slam away any wards. Yuumi places the wards down, and it's so hard to find a reliable engage on the Jarvan. Chances are, if you go for it, FPX will just swoop in to respond, so it means you can do this. You can just aggressively push in, contest vision, get control, and make it so hard for OMG to even walk in their jungle.
And on top of that as well, you have such great side lanes for FPX, right? With the Gnar, the Lissandra. They can very happily just push up as much as they want. They're very happy to be in a solo lane themselves. So FPX can play this real stuff. And it feels like they're now the ones setting the pace of the game, which is really scary for OMG because they've got the Renekton, they've got the Wukong. These are picks that you want to be quite aggressive early on in the game. And you don't really want to fall behind because you get one shot when you get in the fights if you fall too far behind. And I fear we're getting to that point where this Renekton, this Wukong, not going to have the same level of influence that they would have wanted. And now with Drake coming up in 1 minute 50 seconds, he wants to find a pick, Clid the target here, but he's damn tanky, especially with a Yuumi on his shoulders.
Yeah, you do notice he doesn't have much MR, you know, only really has some Merc Treads and a bit from the Chem Tank, so definitely more vulnerable to Creme, but realistically, Ahri isn't exactly like a high magic damage carry, so you can itemize in that way. And it does mean he's pretty bulky to most opponents on OMG. But the one I do want to take note of is we have seen Lord Dominic's Regard finished on Lwx. He's approaching that 400 CS power spike we like to talk about. It has just now been answered by Abel. So both of these carries, that armor, significantly less relevant now. And I feel like the champions, the bulky frontline from both sides is going to start to feel that itemization of the AD carries. If anyone makes a misstep, a misplay, stays in range of them for just a couple of seconds too long, they will be eviscerated. And the setup, the approach is going to be really important. You basically want to be only in range of them when you're taking them out. And Blue Trinket comes down, Spot Lwx solo starting the Baron.
Technically not solo. He did have a kitty cat alongside him, but not far off, I think it's fair to say. Summit continues to pressure in the bottom side. Both TPs available for our top laners here. Both ultimates available too. But FPX doing such a good job to control the state of the map, to just continuously push OMG in and deny vision as they move through the jungle here. And look, complete darkness around this Baron. The nearest ward is on blue buff right now. OMG have to face check in, but look at that damage out from Lwx onto Ahri there.
Yeah, TP coming in though. Care looking for a flank. Oh, fight starting!
Oh, cold 3-man ulti comes on out, and there goes Summit once again before the fight. Lwx knocked up the team on top. GA down, Abel surviving. They need to finish this AD carry. Lwx, he's fallen. 1 for 1 though. It's a 2 kill for Lwx off the bouncers, but Shanji survives, and that's all that matters as he tries to close the gap. Care and Clid, wounded, walk away from the fight.
What the hell was that from Lwx? How did he kill 2 people coming out of GA? There was 5 members of OMG waiting for him to respawn, and he still just takes 2 down with him. Man, this could have just been game. This could have been OMG with the dragon in hand and maybe just ending the game even if they hadn't lost those members. I actually want to see what happened there, because this is a great call from OMG. They see the TP and full confidence, no vision, calls like, yep, we're going. Perfect timing so the Gnar can't leap away. And then they get the lockdown, they get the kill. They all say Sivir, Sivir, Sivir. That is the target. And they take Lwx down. But I just want to see how he actually got all that damage off, because he just turns it around. Like, it's literally 1v4 and the AoE damage, the ricochet bounces. Oh, that's ungodly.
He just gets like an auto QW basically. And that's enough to just finish 2 half-health members. We said the Sivir is scary. Well, now the Sivir is on 6 items. This is terrifying.
Oh, no,
this is it. Summit again caught out. This time with hung on his shoulder. This cannot keep happening. Creme, sorry, on the other side has Spirit Rush, the Frost. It's going to be enough. They take him down. This is 2 for 1. It doesn't matter. OMG, they'll get themselves a soul.
Oh, and after that huge play around Dragon from Summit that got FPX back in the game, he makes a critical error and not only sacrifices himself, but Hung goes down as well. And now Soul is in the hand of OMG. They could go for the Baron here. They did have a stolen just earlier in this game. With the power from the Soul, with the 5v3 on the map, they feel confident enough to go for it.
It's 4v3 here. Hung not available, so the sustain last. Clid tries it again, but this time denied. I can't believe OMG are willing to just flip that Baron, but they pull it off this time. Ahri gets the smite, and crucially, they keep themselves in the lead. What a game. And Summit just obviously feels like there's no one here. He actually hops into the brush.
Yeah. I think he thought Cold was like solo warding. Didn't expect them all to be there. Maybe it could be the Hex Gates kind of messed up with his like thought of how quickly they could get back on the map. Regardless, he goes down, and it wasn't a 5v3 on the map, sorry, it was a 4v3. Creme obviously did get caught as well, but the Soul is secured for OMG. They have the Baron as well, and they're wanting to just push in on the back of this.
And this will be one inhib taken, no questions asked here. Able just comfortable to walk forwards and finish the job there. There's a big old wave at the bottom side too, as Shanji playing to try and zone everyone away on the side of FPX. Does need to be a little cautious, doesn't want to go too deep, as Summit is about to turn into Mega Gnar. But just using the Baron up waves, OMG should be able to turn this into 2 inhibitors. Not to mention that Hextech Soul makes the team fights much more difficult for FPX.
But look at how quickly the minions die. This is a problem in a Sivir. The waves just get decimated so quickly. I will note something mentioned. Both flashes still down for the AD carries, but Cleanse is coming up, so have to be cautious about a potential engage. And we see Clid go in.
Creme has to use the Spirit Rush. Summit 1 HP as Lwx just charged on by Cold. Zonya's under the tower, but the tower's gone. Look, able to shred the buildings to pieces. They don't want the fight. They just want to take these objectives. Clid now on the wrong side of the play, but OMG can't chase it. They need to retreat. They need to escape. Cold, 300 HP, but I think they've got away with it.
Oh man, they managed to get the inhibitor, and it looked it looked scary. Cold goes in with the bandage toss on the Lwx, and it's kind of hilarious because it got spell shielded, and Lwx was just charging away.
It looked like Bile, honestly.
It did. I actually thought it was for a second. I thought we have a bye in this game, but regardless, the stopwatch keeps him alive. OMG open back up on the map, and with bot inhib down, mid hit him down. They still have 50 seconds on the Baron. Not much to work with, especially as Summit is clearing out that wave. But they are able to at least get what they want done with the Baron. With the super minions pushing in, it is going to pose more threat now. But he sees some item juggling from Lwx. He's gone for the Navori Quick Blades. Bear in mind, his ult already reduces basic cooldowns. So he's going max DPS, like highest uptime possible on this WQ.
Your boy wants to ricochet. Your boy wants to ricochet. That's what that item screams right there. Expect many boomerangs. Lwx, wanting to be an absolute teamfight monster, does not sell the boots, crucially. That's one of the like classic AD carry swaps, is remove your boots for just more damage. But
yeah, I mean, Abel's done that.
Can be difficult. Abel has done that, as you say. Oh, it's a big pick. It's on to Clid here. He will survive. Cold trades a lot of his own HP. Abel as well. I mean, like you say, Lwx just chunking everyone.
It's like you don't even have to hit them. Just the ricochet does so much at this point. And you know, you auto enough, you get the cooldown reduced, you have it back up once more. So OMG have to be so careful. I feel like it's not enough at this point to avoid being hit by the Sivir. Everyone has to avoid being hit by the Sivir because the ricochets will shred the whole team. You either have to be killing her or out of her range, and that is the only two states you can approach. So OMG, the Baron expired, they can't push anymore. And now we kind of go back to this point where we're playing for those big neutrals. Elder in 2 minutes. And look, I'm going to be real. Scaling, Soul, no one really cares when it comes to Elder. It's basically whoever secures it almost certainly wins the fight. There are times where you win without it, but they're rare. I'm going to be real. So we are 43 minutes into this game, and it feels like it's all going to come down to that one Elder fight.
And the thing is, both these teams have shown that they're willing to flip the objectives. That's a really scary thought. I will just say as well, these two teams, 3rd and 4th in the league for average game time, both averaging about 30 minutes. But this matchup pushing them to almost 44 minutes on the clock. You can see across the board, almost full build. I mean, even Clid is full build. As a jungler, you basically never see that in League of Legends anymore. Even the supports, like, I mean, look at Hung. 2 completed items outside of a mythic? Like, when's the last time you saw that on a support?
Yeah, kind of rare, honestly, but a lot of gold has been funneled into them. And I mean, at least Clid had the first strike and a lot of cheap items, but now OMG just aren't letting them get close, aren't letting them approach. It's hard to maintain vision for OMG against the Umbral Glaive. Just the fact that Clid can just slap the ward and instantly destroy it. But I feel like, regardless, both teams have to fight this. They know there's a lot of GAs available. Summit has his, Clid has his, Abel and Shanji and Aki all have theirs. So we'd have killed them twice. And you can see here, FPX start to push out. It's all going to come down to this. Maybe the fight, maybe the smite. I feel like if you feel your team is stronger in the 5v5, you don't want it to come down to the smite fight. You want to just win the fight. And I think OMG with the soul probably feel that way about the situation. But honestly, FPX maybe feels similarly how we just see them slug it out. Who knows?
Who do you feel has the fight advantage and who needs the smite advantage?
Oh man, I feel like it's I feel like it really just comes down to execution of the fight. I don't think it's clear cut. I think it comes down to who finds the correct fight for them. I don't think there's a single answer.
Okay, well, OMG the ones in control of the area right now, forcing FPX to move over. Look how tanky that dragon is. 20k HP. Clid over the wall here on the Hex Gate. It's 50-50able as Abel in the middle of everything. If he gets caught, it could be the end for OMG. In they go straight onto Abel here. Clid out the backside of the play. In goes Care to try and finish the job here, but he doesn't have damage. Cold turns golden. Hung caught out, as is Clid. He tries to get over the wall, but he can't. And OMG, after all of that, find themselves the fight. Crucially, Summit here, desperate to hold on with a Moonlight Vigil yet to be used. Calibrum available, doesn't use it. Abel just walking to the base. Forget Summit, they say. OMG won a game in hand.
And they both have GA, so now they're going to kill each other very quick. But OMG get the game win. And this game was a roller coaster. I cannot wait to see the goal graph on this one because it will literally be a roller coaster. OMG with a massive early lead, nearly lose control, but bring it back at...
Oh my, the
They're gonna end. It's fine.
Okay, they still get it. OMG, after 46 minutes of battle, take themselves game 2 in this series. We were worried that this would be a 2-0 after the way that mid-game went, but my god, do we have a series on our hands.
Man, just such a battle, and I feel like so many people popping off at different times in that game. Summit with the hero performance, and then a bit of a 0 in return, and then Shanji on the Renekton. I don't know how you feel. Everyone talks about Renekton. Yeah, useless in the game. He solo killed Lwx. He just got him and went, you're dead, and that was it. And I feel like OMG doing a fantastic job of stabilizing and making the right call. I said it really depends how the team fight goes. They felt confident in their setup. They managed to get on top of Lwx. They managed to mitigate the pressure from Clid, and they don't flip the Elder. They just go for the fight. They win. They get the game and answer this. And I think what's crazy is that was a long game. Let's be real. That felt like so many emotions mixed in it. It's 1 each, right? There's still a minimum of 2 more games in this series.
Yeah, still a long way to go. And that's where teams like this will be tested on their mental fortitude off of the back of a game like that. Like, my goodness, that is going to be a tough loss for FPX. Because the thing is, it was pretty much a loss, right? Early on in the game, it was a given. Like, when you look at that goal graph, it felt like it was over. Just like, I guess that's 20 minutes in. I don't know how far along the graph is 20 minutes, but, you know, early on, OMG felt like they got that one in the bag. Then FPX do such a great job to come back. And then in the end, it's OMG to win the fight. Summit getting caught, Clid getting caught. They all fell a bit apart. I mean, I don't even know who would get MVP in this one, honestly. Such an insane game.
I feel like it's got to be Abel for me, but who knows? Like, I mean, I feel like he just was the big carry in that game, but I feel like this is just what we want from playoffs. This is why everyone's so hyped for LPL playoffs, because this is round 1, right? This is the first round of playoffs, and we're getting these absolute banger slugfests where also it just feels like so many people are doing these pop-up performances. I mean, I feel like there's countless highlight moments in that one game where I'm like, wow, that was sick. Lwx got absolutely destroyed in the laning phase, got completely shut down, then ended up being a massive carry threat, and then the GA moment where he came back alive, killed 2 people before going down again, and he ends up losing. Like, I just feel like there was so many fantastic plays from that, but I feel like OMG found the edge, and Abel was consistently like a force to be reckoned with in that one.
Yeah, I want to say as well, just a quick shout out to OMG. This is their first playoffs win since 2017. Congratulations, guys. Getting that game on the board. They've outdone themselves from spring this year. They've outdone themselves from summer last year. And they've found themselves an even position in this playoffs. We'll find out how game number 3 goes, though, right after the break.